What's good, YouTube? It's Ray Drell. So today's video, I want to show you guys this amazing two formation scheme in Madden 24. So if you enjoyed this video, go and drop a like on the video right now. Go ahead and sub and turn on post notifications on. So first and foremost, I am in the Panthers offensive playbook. Again, I'm in the Panthers offensive playbook. Now, to make sure you can run this scheme effectively, you really want to make sure you have a pretty decent tight end. Now, I do have Hayden Hurst right here in the tight end position, but there's going to be times where I'm going to tell you we can use the packages to move him. But when we go to our other formation, they're going to auto put him back in a certain spot. And I'm going to go ahead and show you that right now. But also, this is next gen, but I do have current gen schemes that I do. I do both next gen and current gen. So no matter what, you guys should find value out of my channel. So last thing I want to say before we dive into this video is that I do have eBooks on my website. So right now I have two formations. I am going to put a defensive ebook coming very, very soon. So if you're interested at all in that, make sure you check the description of this video. And the website is allthingsmadden.com. So check it out, link in the description. But let's go on and dive into this video. So first and foremost, you have to understand how packages work with this particular formation. So what we can do is if we don't want our tight end in the slot, we can actually do wide receiver slot, which is going to put him on the right side, or we can do strong slots that's going to put our tight end on the left. So you might wonder why it matters. In this particular formation, spread wide flex, it actually doesn't matter too much. All it's going to do is going to allow us to have our receivers be our slot guys, which is what we want. And the reason why is because there's this play in here. It's called the RPO read flat wheel, and also we have the jet touch pass, and also lastly we have fake jet halfback seam, which all three of these plays are usable. But my favorite is the RPO. But one thing I do like to do is I do like to go ahead and sub in the spread wide flex formation. I like to, it don't matter where, I like to go ahead and sub in this the RPO play, not RPO, the fake jet halfback seam. I love to sub that in there, and you'll see why, because what we're gonna do is we're gonna come out in this RPO read flat wheel. But before we talk about that, this is the next formation. So spread wide flex is gonna be our running style formation, and spread wide flex weak is going to be our passing formation. So the plays in here they have, I love. They have the spot wide cross, which is an extremely great play. They also have their own RPO read bubble, which I'll show you that one as well. They have this red zone halfback scissors. They have this double cross, which is extremely good for beating coverages. And they have a halfback base as well. So they have a lot of great passing plays in here, and spread wide flex has a lot of great running plays, so you can kind of tell why we're going to do this. And also wide sell is an extremely good play as well. You can run this play stock and it will work beautifully. So if you want to put that in there, so if you want to take out 4 verticals and you want to put in a wide sell, that's one thing I like to do too. And I'll just have halfback the jet, I'll have the base in there, and I'll have wide sell, and you can sub any other pass and play for double slants. Okay, so I know I took a long time with the personnel and the audibles and everything, so I kind of want to dive into this real quick. So we're going to go to RPO read flat wheel, and as you can tell, we're going to go against the nickel 3-3 since that is the meta defense right now. What I did was I kept the original 3 defense alignment in here that you'll see in game, and I put safeties at the linebacker spots because that's what you will see when you load up online. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of just show you how to cover 4 drop, and then I'll show you how to different defenses, okay? So for the most part, this video is going to be really based on this play right here. So what I would do, notice how I'm on the right hash. You really want to run this play with your receiver, or whoever the read flat guy is, to the wide side. So what I would do is I'll flip it in this scenario, and the reason why is because now we're going to have our receiver to the wide side, well, to the short side going to the wide side. Does that make sense? Alright, so it's exactly what it sounds like with this play. It's going to be a read-based play. So notice how the defensive end pulled up. So when he pulls up, that's going to tell us to actually give that ball off. But the cool thing about this play is that we actually don't have to give this. So what we can do on this play is we actually have the ability to still throw this guy right here, even though our read tells us to hand this ball off. So again, the way we read this is our defensive end's going to settle up. Either he's going to settle up like this, or he's going to fully attack our running back. And when he fully attacks it, we keep it. If he settles up, then we're actually going to give it. Now, like I said, the cool thing about this play is that I still have the ability to throw this flat, which I'll show you right now, okay? So I still have that ability. I'm going to go ahead and flip the play. Now, you don't have to flip the play if you don't want to. If you want to run it to the short side, by all means. It's just this play works better if you run it to the field. So I'll kind of show you this again. So they're going to tell us who to read. So we're going to give it. I forgot. I told you guys I wanted to throw the flat to show you that. So next time, I'm just gonna throw the flats. We're gonna go and flip it. And don't worry, this isn't what the whole video is about. I just want you to understand, just how this play works. So notice right here that if I want to, I can actually still throw that out there. And a lot of times, you just have to win. You have to just beat out that guy out there when it comes to zone coverage. Now, the cool thing about this play is gonna be man coverage. So you can actually run this play against man, and it actually works pretty well against man. I'm going to spread out the defensive line to make it easy. Most people are going to keep them spread out this year. So the cool part about man coverage is a lot of times your quarterback goes unaccounted for unless the user guards him. So I'll kind of show you what I'm talking about. So notice how right here when they tell us to give it, the only person that can make this play is the user. So I'm going to go back and replay and show you what I mean by that. And you'll see why I say that sometimes I like to keep it. So the user right here is him. He's normally responsible for the running back. The user is almost always. So what happens here is a lot of times, if you have a fast quarterback and you can actually get around this defensive end, a lot of times you can keep this ball and just you can just make a move on him or outrun him, and the user will be nowhere near to be found. So there's also a lot of other things to this formation, but I just wanted to go over the RPO read just in detail, so that when we start talking about the other things, you guys can see. Now also, like I said, we can run it this way. So boom, this is kind of what I was telling you about. So what happens here is that they just actually give really great animation. So this game is kind of good to run with a quarterback that your opponent won't think to automatically put conservative on, or well, the quarterback option on. So right here, what happened is when you start running this play, the user is going to chase him. A lot of times they're going to chase him, or they're going to kind of stay and muddy up that read. And then what is going to happen is we're going to be allowed to just go and then make a make a good scramble. So it's just a really good play to mix in. It just works really well. So what I want to do now is kind of just put the ball in the middle, just because I need to show you a couple things when we do this two formation scheme. So that's the first play you can come out in, and also, like I said, you can run halfback base, so you don't have to run only that play. It's just, if you want to run halfback base, it's better to come out in it so they don't have to do the little weird auto, the weird auto thing that they normally love to do. But it's a halfback base. You can tell just the holes are going to be there in general. Okay, so those are just the running plays I like. So a couple things you need to keep in mind when you go to this formation. Look where our tight end's at. Okay, remember we chose a different package. So when we go to our other formation, which we're about to talk about now, spot wide cross. Notice what happens here. So notice how our tight end is no matter what gonna be in this spot right here. So it's literally no matter what, and I'll go ahead and show you that to be true. So I don't know why EA has it like this, but this is how they have it this year. So let's go back to we're on strong slots. So now let's go to actually wide receiver slot, which is actually going to move him from the left side to the right side over here. So notice strong slots, 81 is on the left, now 81 is on the right, and this is just to show you that this is just this is just how they want it, right? So let's just go to cover 3 this time. So we're actually going to audible over, go to spot wide cross, and now notice what happens. He's going to be in the same exact spot. So to me personally, I like to keep my tight end to the right side of the field because it's going to allow him to line up faster. It's going to, so that way if you want to do hot route adjustments, you have the ability to. Or you don't have to change anything. You can keep your tight end in the slot if you have a really great tight end, or a tight end who can run decent routes, who actually is pretty fast, I would say, who can handle you throwing into the flats. So you definitely don't need to play around personnel. It's just, it's optional. So let's go ahead and get this started. So I want to go over why sell first, just because it's just right there, in case you just want to have a pass and play out of here. So there's a couple things I like to do. Keep in mind, you can run this play completely stock. I'll just show you that right now, obviously. So R1 is going to be open, and then obviously you don't want to throw square like that, but in theory you'd have square. It depends on where the user goes. In this scenario, you'd want to just read the right side of the field. Anytime I just run this play, I love to just only read the right side, because we're just going to read a high-low between this flat route and this corner route. So obviously we would have just threw this flat route. Okay, this is something you call, if it's open, I throw it. If it's not open, I'm just kind of reading up top to in the middle. So that's how I like to do it. Now there's a couple adjustments I do love on this play. So one thing I like to do is take X, put him on a hitch, and I'll take triangle, put him on a hitch. So I do a double hitch route concept, and what this is going to do is going to let us read between X, triangle, and then square is going to do a lot better of a job getting open, if that makes sense. So we're going to have kind of like a triangle read style with this play. So that's what I love about this, because what's going to happen here is that this flat route can still get open. It depends on how they play this with the purple. So this time the purple kind of got jammed up right here. So we could have just threw this right out the gate right here. And also the same thing with this hitch. This hitch is normally going to be open if the user goes over here and guards it, because the purple or the cloud, they're normally going to get sucked right here. So a lot of times what happens with this hitch, you can actually throw this ball right now, and a lot of times unless they have like a lurker or something, they won't be able to jump this high to pick it off. And I'll go ahead and show you that here. So I love this mainly against your cover 4 drops, your cover 3s, not really cover 2 that much. So here, I'll go ahead and show you this right here. So like I said, I could throw this ball right there in that little gap, and because we have that hitch pulling them down, it's going to be open every single time. So I could literally just abuse it. So I'll show you kind of why I don't like it against cover 2 as much, because the vertical hooks, they do a pretty decent job of guarding this kind of concept. So just be smart with this one. So notice R1 is going to be open, yes, but look at how long I have to wait. So it can get open, but you just have to wait. And a lot of times by that time, the user is normally going to be there. So if that happens, I love to just, of course, I do that every time. But if the user's there, you want to make sure you go ahead and playmaker him, okay? So to save time, I'm just going to come out and spread wide flex weak. I'm just going to come out of here. So just to kind of show you these two plays. But let's go first over... Let's first come out in spot wide cross, and then we'll just come out in a normal cover 3. So, like I said, the thing I love about this formation is that we have the RPO read bubble that we can run. So you can audible into this RPO read bubble, and you can kind of use this 1-2 combo between these two RPO read bubbles, if that makes sense. So, obviously I could have gave the ball, but it's just your typical RPO read style bubble, but it's just a really good one, just because we have the ability to just give this ball if we need to, even if the running back, even if they chase the running back where we're supposed to keep it with our quarterback, this play is just still that good to where we can still hand this ball off, if that makes sense. That's all I was trying to say. We can still hand this ball off. As long as you have like a speedy type of running back who can get around the edge, this is normally good. Because sometimes what can happen here is if you give it, you can actually hit this gap right here. Notice how he's climbing to this linebacker. A lot of times, depending on defense, you could just turn the ball up and just, be able to break it this way. So it's just a really, really great complement style play. So the real scheme is here. I'm going to try to spend about 3 minutes talking about this scheme so this video can not be so long. So my first setup I love is take a triangle, put them on a slant, take circle, put them on a smoke screen. And this setup right here is going to be good against pretty much every single zone coverage in the game. So we're just going to make a simple read, as of course right there I throw a pick from not moving in the pocket. I'm going to run out again because you want to make sure you move the pocket when you run this. If you throw this ball too early, this year they actually do let your purples and your cloud flats play it. So I'll kind of show you here real quick. So what I should have done, you want to actually move a little bit to the left, and what that's going to do is it's going to allow you to pass lead this ball up here. So I didn't get the pass lead I wanted because I didn't move the pocket. Just showing you why this pick happened, that's all. You have to make sure you aim this ball over here, and you have to make sure that you move this way some, because the quarterback's not going to do a good job of throwing it. Now you also do have the ability, if you trust yourself enough, you can put it in this gap right here and you'll get a possession catch animation, but I love to just wait and then pass lead this ball up over the top of that purple or cloud. So anyways, right here you also have the ability to throw this smoke screen, and a lot of times you can hit this slant right on the sideline. So it's a typical setup, but it's just really good. I will show you again one more time. With this one, as long as I get time in the pocket, time in the pocket is not promised on this game, sadly. So there is a couple things that we can do to help ourselves out with time in the pocket. What we can do is, my favorite thing is double team in the end. So to do that, you just press L1, you press down to double team, and then we're going to move the analog to this end over here. And then a lot of times they're going to get the double team animation. We'll be able to roll out this way. And then once we get out, we can actually pass lead that ball up and over the top of any of the purples, the cloud flats, etc. So really love this setup. That's one of the setups I love versus cover 3. Now another one I love, it's simple but effective. We're just gonna take triangle, put them on a hitch, and that's it. And again, it's a simple hitch flat style combo, and then circle is gonna be over the top. But this way, we actually can get over the top of zones a little bit easier when it comes to cover 3, cover 4 drop style defenses. Okay, so when we talk about man coverage though, because a lot of times you're going to be seeing man on this game, when we talk about man, there are still a couple things we can do. So this is where I love to put triangle on a slant, but I like to leave circle on this in route like this instead of a smoke screen, because now we're going to have triangle that can get open, we're going to have X that can run away from his man depending on who he is, and we have circle that can get open with this backside in route. So look at triangle, look at X, and circle. Obviously, the 3-rec is going to do a good job, but most of the time that's going to be your user in the middle. So a lot of times your read progression is going to be this slant. So you want to get somebody who's really good short route runner with this slant, and then this crosser is normally going to be good for a good tight end who can actually get away from his man. Now, also, a lot of times this year, they let actually streak routes win. So if you have a really fast receiver or somebody who's actually pretty decent, a lot of times you can get good win animations this year. So if they don't have a safety over the top, it's not a bad idea to look for the streak. And I'll show you a streak route. It's actually a little bit different. No, actually, it's about the same as a normal streak route. But it's just there's some streak routes that are actually better than others. This one isn't the one, but you can still get good animations if that makes sense. So again, I just love to take triangle, put them on a slant or a drag, whichever one. Either one is going to work fine. I'll show you square because a lot of times you can get a good win animation and then you can just toast them. Now, Adam Thielen is way slower than Stokes, but he has better route running. So don't be scared to throw those streaks this year because those streaks really can save you. And it's going to force them to have to put a safety over the top. So notice again, he gets another great win animation. So your receivers who are slower, they actually made it this year to where they have a chance, and that's why you just have to be aware of who you have out there and who they have out there. So anyways, really love that play. So the next play is pretty much going to be the last play I want to talk about. It's going to be this red zone halfback scissors play. So for this setup, I love to just take square for the first setup, just put them on a streak. And then I like to take X right here. I like to just throw him on a hitch, and then I like to just run it like this. Or I'll just take X and put him on a drag, and I'll take circle, put him on an in route. So I love either or. Now when you run this, you want to make sure that your running back has enough room to work. So you want to use this whenever your running back's on the wide side of the field. So try not to run it with your running back to the short side because we're not going to be able to, we're not going to be able to do what we want to do. So square on the streak. And then X, I like to just take them on the hitch for the first setup, and then I'll just kind of show you why. So we're really going to read this left side of the field, and you want to wait, and then you want to be able to hit that ball. You want to be able to hit that player right when that ball goes over that cloud flat. So don't worry, we'll be wrapping this video up here in a second too. So basically the streak is going to push back into the outside zones, the flat's going to hold any of your outside zones, and then we're going to be able to just have this gap here that we'll be able to expose. Now of course the reason I like this too is because what's going to happen here is that this little hitch is going to hold some of your players, and then a lot of times we'll be able to just make a read between this left side or this right side, excuse me. So if you want a better read on the right side, there are a couple things you can do too. So that's why I like to take square, put them on a streak. I like to take X right here, put them on a drag, circle on an in route. So it may look weird with this setup, but what's going to happen is the drag and this in route combo is going to kind of push those zones back out a little bit, and then we'll be able to have a read between those two. So I know right there they played it really decent, but also that is cover 3 with the extra zone in the middle if you're running 3-3-5 normal. So it makes it a little bit harder to pass when they have this many people, but most people are not going to play this style of coverage. And again, if somebody does play this style of coverage with cover 3 or they're playing really hard zones, that's where this little RPO play is actually extremely good. So last thing I want to show you is just versus man coverage, but I just wanted to come out and in this cover 3 drop because you'll still see your user try to use this type of play with cover 3 drop, and I just need you to understand that when they run this cover 3, we could just run this play all day. If they want to run cover 3, we can literally just abuse this play right here. So what we can do is just throw that out there, and then they'll get good blocks. And this is just how it is when they run this heavy zone coverage. Don't be afraid. I had to make sure I mention this because that's why this scheme is really good, because if they want to play this dumb defense where they just play cover 3 and they're just going to use her right here, then you can run this play till they're tired of it, literally till they're tired of it. But last thing I want to show you is going to be man coverage, on how man coverage plays. It's a man coverage setup that I really love to do. So what we're going to do is we're going to come out in we'll come out in cover on Robert press. So we're just going to come out in the play. So we're going to go to red zone, halfback scissors. We're going to take triangle, put him on a zig. We're actually going to take X right here. We're going to put him on a zig. And then I actually like to run it just like this. And our read progressions are going to be triangle to X. Then we're going to read square and then circle. So we look triangle X to see who gets a win. Okay, triangle, I could have threw him. And also square is going to be able to break open too. So it's loading our opponent up with a lot. Normally, this running back route is not going to really win versus man normally. This just depends on where the user goes, if we're being honest. So normally the user is going to be responsible for the running back, which means he's going to be out there playing him. And that's why I like this particular play, because what's going to happen here is that a lot of times the user is going to try to get aggressive on guard in one of these two. You can be able to throw this, and you can a lot of times make a move on the user, or if the user's outside, then I love to actually read this post route, because this post route is a really, really great post route versus man. And if your user's really aggressive, what you can do is you can actually take triangle, just put him on a streak, and you can take X and do a zig, and now all we're going to do is just read square. If you know your user has to guard the running back, this is what I like to do, because then we're going to be able to hold that safety. And then you guys seen it was about to get open. I just ran out of time. Unfortunately, all Madden practice mode, they just are relentless on the defensive line. But anyways, what happens here is that the user is going to be running to this left side over here with the running back. Or if he does it, or if he gets caught up trying to guard the post, then we actually can't have this guy wide open. A lot of times that does happen. So anyways, I love to put that streak, because that streak's going to kind of hold that safety, that middle third safety, and it's going to allow us to have this open out here, because they are playing straight man coverage. But anyways, that's gonna wrap it up for this video. Sorry this video is long. I'm trying to work on making my videos shorter, but let me know how you guys like it. I'm going back and forth between longer videos, short videos, but I feel like on my longer videos I can actually give you more. But my shorter videos, I like it to be a short and sweet in case you have stuff to do during the day or something. But anyways, man, I truly appreciate you guys. Comment, let me know. I love hearing from you guys. I reply to all y'all's comments. Thank you so much for y'all that's been rocking with me over the years, or thank you for the ones that are just now rocking with me. So anyways, I really hope you have a blessed day. I'm Ray Jarrell, and I'm out.